Alright, let's talk about exponents and order of operations. So we're going to start with exponents. So let's say we had a number like 3 to the second power. That means I have 3 two times. Not 3 times 2, I have 3 two times. So that would be 3 times 3. That means I have 2 3's. So 3 times 3 is 9. So let's work a couple more. So let's say we had 2 to the fourth. That means I have 2 4 times. So I have 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. It is not 2 times 4, it is 2 multiplied 4 times. So 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. So I have 4 2's there. So 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8, 8 times 2 is 16. So 2 to the fourth is 16. And then there's a special thing you need to know, and that's if we're dealing with negative numbers. So let's say we had negative 4 to the second power. That would mean negative 4 times negative 4. So following our integer rules, we multiply those. 4 times 4 is 16, and then a negative times a negative is positive. There is one difference here, and that's if the negative is on the outside. So if we had negative 3 squared, that would equal negative, actually, that's fine, and then 3 times 3. So 3 times 3 is 9, and then you apply that negative, so that would be negative 9. So if the negative is on the inside and your exponent's even, it'll come out positive. If the negative is on the outside, then it's always going to be negative. One more on that, and that's if we have an odd exponent. So let's say we have negative 2 to the third power. That's going to be negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2. So negative 2 times negative 2 is positive 4, and then positive 4 times negative 2 is going to be a negative 8. So you notice on that white one, negative 4 to the squared, we had an even exponent, and it came out positive. And this is only if the negative's on the in the parentheses there. And if we had on the red one, we had an odd exponent. I'll just abbreviate there. It came out negative. So my first couple examples were all positive. They're going to come out positive. If you have an even exponent on a negative base, it'll come out positive. If you have an odd exponent on a negative base, then it'll come out negative. And if the negative is on the outside, it'll always be negative. Well, almost always be negative. There are cases where it won't be negative. So I won't say it's always negative. It'll pretty much always be negative for you right now. Alright, so now let's do some order of operations. So when we do order of operations, you've probably heard of Pemdas. I write it slightly different. I still use Pemdas, but I write it just slightly different than some other people. So P stands for parentheses, E for exponents, and then M and D is multiplication division from left to right. Multiplication doesn't come before division. You work multiplication and division from left to right. Same thing with addition and subtraction. Addition and subtraction are on the same level. One doesn't come before the other. You just work those from left to right, just like you read. So we start with our parentheses. I don't have any, so I go down to my exponents. So an exponent, I have 2 to the third. That means 2 times 2 times 2. 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8. So I rewrite what I got. 3 plus 2, or 3 plus 8 minus 6 divided by 3 times 2. So my exponents are done. So I go to multiplication and division from left to right. So when I'm reading this from left to right, the first multiplication or division I get is 6 divided by 3. So 6 divided by 3 is 2. So read what I got. I got 3 plus 8 minus 6 times 2. So I keep working my multiplication division left to right. So the next multiplication I have is 2 times 2, which is 4. So now I have 3 plus 8 minus 4. So I'm finished with my multiplication division and move on to my addition and subtraction. So the first addition or subtraction I get when I read left to right is 3 plus 8. 3 plus 8 is 11. I'm left with 11 minus 4, and 11 minus 4 is 7. Alright, so let's do one more example. So I got 5 times 3 squared minus 8 times 25 hundredths. So I start with my parentheses, 8 times 25 hundredths. 25 hundredths would be 1/4 as a fraction. So 1/4 of 8, that's like dividing 8 by 4, so that'd give me 2. So rewrite what I got. I have 5 times 3 squared minus 2. You can put the parentheses or leave them, and they don't matter at this point because we've done the operations in them. So I've done my parentheses. Next I need to do my exponents. So I do 3 squared, that means 3 times 3, which is 9. So now I have 5 times 9 minus 2. So I've taken care of my exponents. Next I do my multiplication and division. I don't have any division, but I do have a multiplication. The first one is 5 times 9. 5 times 9 is 45 minus 2. And then the last thing I do is my addition and subtraction. So 45 minus 2 would be 43.